Cancer, this is your work/romance reading. Hopefully it will help you in either of those areas. A lot of these readings have been going off into the intimate areas, but nonetheless, we will get started. The Pulp Tarot, the first card for Cancer. The World card, 21, completion. These are usually celebratory cards. It's a final completion having to do with certain direction in your life here. So we may be putting a completion to a job, or, you know, moving from one job to another, this kind of thing. Or certain things, they're giving me the sense of certain things that we're putting to an end here. Highly affirmative. Like they're going, this is highly something we've needed to do for some time. Okay, the next card is the Tower. Wow. I had this in the last reading as well. In the same, Gemini had it in the same placing. So if you have a Gemini, you may be connected in some kind of way to a Gemini, or this may affect you and a Gemini at the same time. But nonetheless, the Tower is here, and usually a Tower comes down as shocking, something we couldn't have foreseen, something that takes us by surprise. But it is nonetheless there to, you know, illuminate things universally. So the next card we have is the Two of Wands. What do you know? It is here to get us to move in a different direction. So there may be something here happening shockingly to us or to someone else that illuminates us to something that makes us choose a different path. And I'll tell you right now that that path is highly guided to be chosen. Okay? So we're going to move on here. I feel like there's a very profound change. Again, yeah, Gemini's reading is kind of overlaying here. So again, we may be dealing with a Gemini in some kind of way here. Okay, the World card, 21, Major Arcana. On top of there, the feminine energy is the Ace of Water. This is good because, okay, hold on. It can be normally good. But the sense they're giving me, they said, whenever we have the Ace of Water, that's like accepting love from above, or accepting love in our heart. But this is what we're putting it into, is our love directions. So it's not good, frankly. But nonetheless, we'll move forward here and see if that doesn't clear up. Now, the Tower energy, usually something shocking, something we didn't see coming, something that changed the directory we may have been headed in. On top of that energy, we get the Seven of Fire. Is about defensive, like I can't take anymore. This Seven of Fire is about, okay, that's enough, I can't take it. So the sense I'm getting here, this Tower may have fallen, but I don't feel the Cancer's taking it for the message that it's supposed to be. And if we're shutting our heart off, that's exactly what's the problem. But I'm going to digress here. So the Tower has come, and we are in defense. We are refusing to look at that. There is something that has come crashing down here we do not want to see, is the sense. Two of Wands. Now we're moving in a different direction. I get a clear sense that yes, this direction is where we're supposed to be headed because the light is in our face. On top of that, we get the Page of Air. Page of Air is someone who is immature in their element. So the air element is about the mind, the thoughts, communication. Somebody here that, you know, this page usually carries a lot of lies and untruths. Okay? Now, they're both looking in the same direction. So this is giving me different feelings here. Give me a minute. Because the Two of Wands, that's facing the light of day. We have the ability to make the right decisions here, but the Page of Air can foul that up, can convince us to do different. This is what I'm getting. So the Page of Air speaks a lot of untruths, and they can create smoke and mirrors to foul us up. So the sense that I'm getting is we're gonna, because of this Tower, even though there's an ability not to want to deal with this, there's a sense of us moving in the right direction, no less. But the sense is if we don't see the truth of the matter here, or take that in internally, we may be able to get fouled up again, or convinced to go back into a negative energy. This is the sense I get with this card. Okay, let's continue and see. As we move into the third row here, we get the Infinity Work card. So we'll get into, hopefully, a work area here. Ace of Water, the world, they're telling me we are shutting down our emotional center. And once we do this, we also shut down the ability to make good decisions. We also shut down the ability to see with our instinct. We shut those things down. So we need to be aware of that on a level. Ace of Water, on top of that, we get a female employee. Oh boy. So this may have something to do with the employee that, we may have been dealing with an employee here that maybe something blew up. We may have had some feelings for this person and now are shutting the feelings off because something happened here. And they're giving me all the arrows are pointing to this female employee here. Is this something we don't want to admit? We don't want to see this? We may have someone schmoozing us or kind of winning us over, but they may have done something wrong at work or wherever, and now we're not wanting to see that. We're not wanting to see that. We're not accepting that on a certain level. Okay, next row here. Again, the Tower energy, very heavy energy here, and a ability to resist that. What scares me there is if we don't take the truth in for all it's worth, it means we can be manipulated again in another cycle. And the sense here is I'm not listening to that. I'm not accepting that. And because of this, again, we can be tripped up quite easily. So on top of the Seven of Fire, what's the career card we get? Work and travel. Usually this card is about traveling for work, but I get a sense of I got to get out of Dodge and leaving work because I don't want to deal with none of this. There's a truth here having to do with an employee that we're working with or someone we're working with, and we can't deal with the facts here, so we're getting out of Dodge so we don't have to deal with it. The feeling is we can't run away from it. It's going to be there when we get back, but maybe this will give us more time to think. Okay, on the Two of Wands and the future energy here, the Page of Air. On top of that, again, the Page of Air is someone who tells untruth. So this is looming in our future. Even though we're facing the right direction here, because we have not accepted the truth that has come forth, we could possibly get rerouted into another scheme here. So on top of the Page of Air, we get the Overwork card. Yeah, that's too many things going in too many different directions is what I allot this card to mean. It means that we're doing too many things to actually keep us abreast of what is going on. And the thing is negative things, Tower moments, a lot of times people don't want to deal with that, and this is a high avoidance to this. We may be even overworking in order to avoid some other area of interest here. And again, it's an area where things are falling apart. We don't want to deal with that. We're just blanking that out. And this, interesting. This could be in the personal area. Like I'm telling you, they just tricked me. They said, do work readings, and it's all love and romance stuff. But the sense here is we may be putting a lot of overtime into our work to avoid something on a personal direction. There it is. Okay, so as we go into the Cat Tarot, to go one line further here, on top of this female employee, it may be a female employee or another female here, or whatever, a female, this is what the Tower is around them, is the sense. And we're just not wanting to deal with that on any shape or form. In fact, we've disconnected our emotions to have anything to do with this. Now, on top of that, we get the Ace of Cups. Well, our emotions are going to be flooding. Why? Because the universe is infusing our emotions highly in this area. We're needing to deal with this employee in some kind of way is the sense that I get. Even though we don't want to and we shut our heart off, again, if we open our heart, we're more easily able to see the instinct. But the minute we shut off our heart, we can make goofy decisions or decisions that aren't so great in the long run. The Ace of Cups is about being a couple and having great backing in a coupled relationship, and also about uniting with people that are of loving nature. I don't feel we see this in this employee, but we don't want to deal with anything. Like, it's like this person schmoozed us, and they schmoozed us. We fell for it. Then a lie came forth, and we know that they lied, but we don't want to deal with the ramification. We don't want to have to go in there and smack their ass, and you know what I mean? Like, why do we have to deal with this? Like, this is what I'm getting. I don't want to deal with this, especially having to do with the heart, because, you know, we just don't have any emotion for this, is the sense. Now, as I move to the Tower energy, again, something happened around this employee that I can't handle. Just back off. I'm going on a trip, and I'll, you know, it's almost like someone saying, I'll go on a trip and I'll make up my mind after. Like, I can't deal with this. I'm on my last emotional straw, and you've plucked it. So I need to get out of Dodge. Okay, on top of that, we get the Two of Cups. What do you know? So that's about someone, okay, we may be taking our partner and going and just, you know, wrapping ourselves up in love, and, you know, because I feel like if this is a work area or whatever, we are leaving, we are leaving the physical state of this person that's causing us heartache, and we are going to invest in a schmoozing of our own choosing, schmoozing of our own choosing. And that's how we're going to deal with this at this time. We're not dealing with it. But we're going to, you know, love up on someone else and get away from the whole scenario. That's our plan. So, for now, that will do, is what they said. Again, we come back. It's still there. But the Two of Wands, Page of Air, I feel like this is someone who's devious and likes to tell untruths. I don't know if that's the same female employee, but obviously there's been a truth that's come down here that's I don't know if these two people, they're very separate. The Page of Air and the female employee, they're very separate. So I don't know, there's something funny here. Yeah, they gave me the word faceless for this female employee. So that means that either means we don't know who we are, so we don't know how to be true to someone else, or the energy of like almost like a two-faced. You know, like we serve nobody but ourselves. So I don't know if that's a warning or what. This is in the past energy, though. Now, anyway, the Page of Air. There's overwork. Again, I think we're putting a lot of energy into work here, but in other areas to kind of busy us up so we don't have to deal until we go on vacation. They have the 15 card. Yeah. It's not the right thing to do, right? It's kind of avoidance here. Quite highly. The weird thing is I feel like the trajectory we're going to face in the future is devil energy. I feel like someone's going to convince us to do something, and it may have to do with this female employee, may not. But either way, they're going to convince us, like pull us back into the illusion, is what I get. Now we're going to go down the next row here, get the masculine cards and end this off here and see what happens. There is a lot of heart-centered stuff here that we... One, we're shutting off, and then we're going to open back up on our vacation. We're going to open our heart back up because we know where all of this treachery sits, and we're trying to shut it down. But again, there is a way to use our heart to shut things down. It's like tough love scenarios. We need to look into this. We need to research this, is what they're saying. We can still open our heart because this person feels like got to shut their heart down in order to deal, and they're going, we cut ourselves out of a lot of good information there because we got to have our heart open to receive instinct. And if we don't have instinct, we go blind into things. And that's what I feel our future's holding. I think we cut our heart off, and that leads us straight into a trap of the devil. Devil's working, they said. Okay, so beyond that, let's get into the last row here. On the Ace of Cups, again, I feel like we're going to invest in a partner here, or invest in a relationship where we spend all our time with the person that we care and love about, and we're going to do that to distract ourselves from what the hell's going on here. On the Ace of Cups, we get the Eight of Water. Uh-oh. That's about walking away. Okay, this could be the female employer. It could also be the partner, which is interesting, because I do feel like I want to invest in my partner, and it's like we have a husband or wife and we're going to go on vacation, and just the plan is we're just going to have a romantic vacation to get my mind off of all the stress at work. But something here gets us to the point where we have to abandon that. Okay, next row here. In some kind of way, emotionally, I guess. Well, if our heart's closed and we don't open it, then we, kind of abandon things. I don't know. I'm trying to put two and two together here. It's starting to get convoluted in the heart. Anyway, the Tower, 7. We can't take any more of this stuff coming down here. Like, this is just... So we're leaving Dodge with a partner. On top of that, you get the Two of Fire. There's a need to make a choice here. To make a choice. And the interesting thing is that they're facing that lightning strike, but they could go in the sun. But they're facing, it's like their first step is in the darkness. So be careful. Again, I feel like the devil's close here, trying to... It's like we've made up our mind, but we're going to be talked out of it. And to go back into darker energy. Or energies that are not for our highest good anyway. May seem like the right thing to do, da-da-da. So on the last row here, where we have the devil and a lot of people around us that can tell untruths, and I do feel in the future there's somebody that's going to kind of, I feel like they're going to wrap us around their finger and make us believe something that we have decided we're not going to believe. But they're going to manipulate us to flip gears. On top of that energy, we get the Five of Earth, and that's being left out in the cold. Give me a moment. There's a few layers on top of that. First of all, they're making me aware that if we shut our heart down, we really are going to be left out in the cold in all areas. We're going to be left out from higher vantage point of seeing clearly where we need to go. And we're going to be left out of making the right decision from our heart that is karma free. This kind of thing. Now, I feel like someone may be using or manipulating us with this hot, cold energy. I feel like that's the Page of Air. They're going to turn the cold shoulder on us, is the sense. And I feel like them doing that may get us to go back and schmooze them up. I feel like we got an energy here of playing with emotions quite highly. I feel like the Cancer knows this, but they're using work and everything to avoid dealing with it. Confronting it head on, they're not. And this is going to continue to bring them down until they do that. I do feel, though, this page is turning his back, but I don't feel it lasting very long. I feel like they're going to make you aware of how much... It's the manipulator, yeah. And they pull you back in, is the sense. There's a sense of wanting to leave, but we're avoiding. We're not dealing, we're avoiding. And as long as we avoid, we have this problem in our life. If we deal, we can cut it off. But we have to work hard to keep that connection cut. Yeah, okay, I'll leave it at that. So the Fortune card you have, Cancer, for your work area. The Devil, take care immediately to avoid temptation and deceit. Devil's quite highly ingrained here. I feel like they've got you wound a few loops anyway. And if we shut our heart off, which is their intent, to get you to get to that zone, and we have accomplished this mission, we've shut the heart down, the devil will bring you right back into his clutches and say, it's okay, darling, you just stay here, where we're both in misery. because they don't want you going away and finding the sunlight. And even though I think in our mind, we've mentally made that up, our emotional center can be manipulated quite easily because we've cut our emotional center off. Like our emotions, we're just not paying attention to that. And we need to do that. Yeah, so there's a lack of healing here that needs to be invested in. We may we may be loyal to the wrong side, is the sense. So be careful, devil's in your sphere here. The weird thing is I think that Cancer feels the solution is we're going to shut down. And that's the exact trap that the devil laid. So what needs to happen is you need to open your heart, but in a different direction. That's keeping you down. That's all it is. That's all it is. Say no more. So Cancer, that's heavy. There's a completion here that I do not feel completes because there's a sense of us cutting off the wrong feed is what I get. So hopefully that helps you, illuminates you in some kind of way. Avoid temptation and deceit. That's what's coming in the future. It's really going to wrangle you back into where we have had enough of this energy, so we need to remove ourselves from it. We know this mentally, but we've got someone in our head or someone in our field working overly hard. The devil, really, someone that's leading by the devil. They're going to wrap us back up again, and we're just not going to be happy. We've been there. We've done that. But we don't like feeling left out in the cold. We don't like dealing with ourselves, and that's creating a problem. That's creating a codependency on someone who's just not on the right side. It's not going to bring you any happiness. So Cancer, last of the loop here, and unfortunately one of the darkest readings here. But, there's always the bright side. There's always, and there's a sense of leaving, but I feel like we leave the wrong scenario. But nonetheless, hopefully this helps you in some kind of way, illuminates you in some kind of way. Take care, have fun, and be kind, and we will talk to you soon.